You violate, I'ma demonstrate.
Well, stop trying to let Floyd, but you trying to
steal
quotes and stuff.
You trying to steal quotes, brother. You violate, I'ma demonstrate.
I want y'all to play them tapes back with Floyd saying everything this man saying. You trying to steal Floyd whole flow. Real quick, brother.
After the fight, you violate, I'ma demonstrate.
Well, stop trying to let Floyd, but
you violate, I'ma demonstrate. You violate, you violate, you violate, you violate, you violate, I'ma demonstrate.
If you violate, I'm gonna demonstrate.
You already know what I say. You violate, and I demonstrate.
Stop trying to let Floyd, but you trying to
steal
quotes and stuff.
You trying to steal quotes, brother. You violate, I'ma demonstrate.
I want y'all to play them tapes back with Floyd saying everything this man saying. You trying to steal Floyd whole flow. Real quick, brother.
After the fight, play this clip. Look,
this my fight. My whole thing up here to change how y'all over here playing. You feel me? So Floyd, he did his thing. I salute to him. He actually one of my favorite fighters. That was his game plan, that was his blueprint. You can't sit here and try to take everything that man did and just run it. That worked for him. Run your own play, brother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm finna sit here and do my thing.
Get off my dick.
Sit here and
you on my so
you
hard.
Floyd,
you really a fan. You really a fan. I'm not on no.
All my years of hard work and dedication. Hard work, dedication.
When I clean up the division, they gonna say, oh, well, he didn't fight nobody. Them guys, they wasn't nothing. Tank wasn't nothing. Ryan wasn't nothing. T.O. wasn't nothing. They're gonna say that these guys wasn't nothing.
Never good enough. No matter who I beat, it's never gonna be good enough. If this is Pacquiao tonight, they'll be like, okay, you beat Pacquiao, but you ain't beat Mosley. So, like I said before, I'm always in a nowhere situation. but then they say, well, you didn't fight Margarito, but then I dominated the dude who beat Margarito. Then what they gonna say now? So,
I promise you, I'm knocking Ryan out.
Good. All right, well, y'all already didn't heard it.
And you know, he didn't promise to see that I'm levels above this dude. Like I said, he's a C-level fighter. I'm an A+ fighter, and I'm gonna show it.
Ryan Garcia is a C-level fighter. He got a big name, but you know, I'm an A+ fighter.
Well, it really don't matter to me. He can bring the pressure. He can box. I'm a true champion. I'm willing to go to his turf in Atlantic City. I'm gonna step on him. I'm gonna crush him. Y'all can mark my word to this. I'm gonna crush him. He's a C+ fighter. I'm an A+ fighter. Come Saturday night next week, all the fans tune in because I'm gonna dominate. This guy is flat-footed. He swing wild. I'm not worried about who his trainer is because his trainer can't get in there and fight for him. The fans in Atlantic City can't get in there and fight for him. I'm ready mentally, physically. I want all the fans to tune in.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like I said before, I got a hell of a team. Al Heyman, I made a lot of smart investments, hard work, dedication. Devin Haney gets destroyed by Brian Norman for copying and imitating the great Floyd Money Mayweather from Grand Rapids, Michigan. In this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I can't say that I'm surprised. I cannot say that I didn't see this coming. Devin Haney has been put on blast by champion Brian Norman. They had a recent face-off where they were sat next to each other talking about their upcoming fight, which is a really good fight I've talked about on my channel. Now Brian Norman has officially put the spotlight on Devin for his imitation, and I want to get into it. I got my headphones. Let's get it cracking. So
I'm gonna have to demonstrate. You violate, I'm gonna demonstrate.
Well, stop trying to let Floyd, but you trying to steal quotes and stuff.
You violate, I'm gonna demonstrate, brother. You violate, I'm gonna demonstrate.
I want y'all to play them tapes back.
you already know what I say. You violate, and I demonstrate.
You trying to steal Floyd whole flow. Real quick, brother. You can't sit here and try to take everything that man did and just run it. Run your own play, brother. You know what I'm saying? Sit here
you on my so
you
hard.
Floyd,
you really a fan. You really a fan. I'm not on no.
Get your own stuff, man. Get your own style. Get your own. Get your own little. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got your own swag going on, brother.
Bro, Devin Haney got cooked. You gotta feel me. He got cooked. So Brian Norman, it's like almost immediately upon hearing the quote, he knew exactly where that was from. It's like the scene in New Jack where Christopher Williams was like, hey, where do I know him from? And he started having them flashbacks, and he remembers seeing Ice-T chasing Pookie in the beginning of the movie. And he was like, hey, he 5'0", he 5'0". Bro, that is the same thing. Brian Norman heard that, you violate, and I'm going to demonstrate. That, we all know that's a Floyd quote, bro. Listen, this was an exceptionally bad look for a face-off. Like, I've seen face-offs and neither guy's really saying nothing, but this was a bad one. Brian Norman is full of confidence, and he called you out for plagiarism and stealing people's lines. And to be honest, I've already told you about Devin Haney. I've already said this. Notice the Haneyacks, they're not going to talk about none of this, right? The Haneyacks, they're not going to bring up any of this. They'll just merely act like it doesn't exist. But to be called out for stealing, you violate and I'm demonstrate. And then seconds later, Brian Norman's like, look at the face he's making. He's like, you violate, I'm gonna demonstrate, right? And he thought that was clever. And Brian Norman looking at him like, bro, stop that. That's a Floyd quote. You just gonna steal this man's quotes up here in the face off with me like I don't know? Now, credit to Brian Norman for calling it out. I know for a fact I was the first to call it out. The Haneyacks ain't gonna tell you. I told you Devin was ripping and stealing Floyd's whole like aura, his whole existence, which we'll get into more. But Brian Norman, I think he's a student of the game, and I believe Floyd is one of his favorite fighters. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I heard him say that in the interview. So he peeped it right away and actually had the balls to call it out. Like me, you already know I got nuts. You already know I'm calling it out, whatever's going on in boxing. But shout out to Brian Norman for doing that as well. And then if you look at it, Devin, after he got called out, he didn't deny it, because you can't deny it, because you know you're trying to be somebody that you're not, because you're not Floyd, right? And Devin said, you on my dick, you on my dick. Brian Norman, another exceptional rebuttal. He says, you on Floyd dick, you on Floyd, you on Floyd's stick. If that's the case, because you stealing his whole flow. You got his whole like scheme, his whole shtick down, and you trying to be like him. And he's like, we gonna just sit up here and act like you ain't copying Floyd. And Devin, if you notice, he said, play the tape, play the Floyd tape. And then there's a tape of Floyd say, you demonstrate, I'm a violate. He said, you can't sit here and try to take everything that man did and just run it. Run your own play. He said, get off my dick. He said, you on Floyd dick. Get your own stuff, man. Get your own style. And then Devin said, I'm me. But how can you say I'm me when you're trying to be like somebody else? I try to warn y'all. Devin, he's a good fighter. I'm looking forward to his upcoming fight. But this whole like Timu, great value Floyd, it's just not it. It's a bad look because several reasons. I could break it down if y'all want. I am a content creator, so I can't break this down. For one, this is like an obvious one. Your dad was just beefing with Floyd Mayweather. You have beef with Floyd Mayweather. How you gonna try to be like somebody that you dissed, you and your family have dissed, right? After you pretty much are even known early on from being in their gym, and working with his daddy. You know what I'm saying? That's what kind of put you on the map. Sparring with Shakur in the Mayweather gym, Floyd Sr. training you, and then early young pictures of Devin with Floyd Mayweather. So it's like Daniel's son trying to diss Mr. Miyagi later in life. It looked weird. So I never understood that. And I have experienced that a lot on this platform where y'all know me. I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. The originator, the dun dada. I'm a pioneer in this game. And I'm very creative, always been creative since I was a child. So naturally, when you're creative and you do things good, people copy. And this is the story of my whole life. Look, my DNA is all through this boxing game. The way I style my thumbnails, my intros, my outros, the colors I use in the thumbnails, the personality, the impressions. Like, I've had people copy pretty much every single thing, every step that I've done. But what never made sense is if you're trying to be like Boxing Ego, you're trying to be like Ego. Why do people need to check you out if you're a knockoff of something else when you have the original? It don't really make sense. That's why I never understood copycats. Like, if I do a video, I've been doing Ego Weight Watchers for years. Now everybody want to do Ego Weight Watchers, but they just don't call it Ego Weight Watchers. Or I got the Unpack series. I even have an intro song to Unpack. Now everybody, they'll say, oh, I'm gonna unpack this. So let's get unpacked and put in their thumbnail. Oh, we unpacked. Like, what? Bro, stealing the whole flow. So I know first and foremost how it feels to have people copy and then not pay like homage to what they're copying. And then some people, some of them, the real snakes, they'll dish you while studying you and trying to copy everything you do. So that's kind of what it reminds me of. Bill Haney, Devin Haney taking shots at Floyd, but then your son is trying to be like him. He's doing a face-off and he's literally using Floyd quotes. And this is not the first time that he got down like this. So props to Brian Norman for exposing it. It is what it is. We've seen Devin Haney, like Floyd Money Mayweather, he changed his name, and then they were calling him Dev Dollar. Like, come on, bro. It went from Devin the Dream Haney, and you would think somebody with the nickname The Dream would have more imagination. You know what I mean? Instead of just copying. I remember when he was about to fight Ryan Garcia, and I definitely called it out. The videos are still up. So I've been exposed the fact that Devin Haney be copying Floyd. When he was fighting Ryan Garcia, he was using Floyd quotes. And I know the exact interview. It was when Floyd fought Gotti. When Floyd fought Gotti, he was like talking to Lampley or whatever, HBO via the satellite feed. I know these clips like the back of my hand because they're some of my favorite Floyd moments, right? But anyway, he was preparing for it. He was like, he's thunder, I'm lightning. You know what strike first? I'm coming. And if da-da-da-da, I'm going to beat him and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to beat him at 7, send him in heaven. And he was just rhyming and he was just flowing the whole thing. And he was like, I don't care about that. He can say whatever he want. I'm an A+ fighter. He a C+ fighter. He not beating me. Blah, blah, blah. We going to see Atlantic City. And he was just ripping Gotti. Then when Devin was about to fight Ryan, he kept saying, I made all the sacrifices. I made smart investments. I'm an A+ fighter. He's a C+ fighter. And then Ryan cooked you. So when Floyd did it, it was wavy because he said, rest in peace to Gotti, but he said Gotti's not on his level. I'm an A+ fighter. He's a C+ fighter. When you did it, you copied. And then Ryan cooked you and dropped you and hurt you in the first round, right? He dropped you throughout the fight multiple times. So it don't hit the same when it's a knockoff, especially when you don't make good with whatever you're trying to emulate or copy. You know what I mean? It puts me in the mind frame. Devin, how he's acting, trying to be like Floyd, it reminds me of Lil Zane. He's the Lil Zane of boxing. Tupac passed. So that's the only difference is Pac was no longer here. And then Lil Zane, I live a life of a celebrity. I made figure way bigger than the mother cat you let it see. A money stretched like a rubber band. Cats got beat for me, so get your hands up. Bro, he stole the whole Tupac flow and was putting it in songs with 112. He stole the whole flow. The drummer still don't stop. The freeway getting chased by some bad want an autograph pic. They want my name tattooed on them. Dick for a minute, got the move on them. Hennessy with the Chardonnay, mix it. Bro, Lil Zane ripped the whole, bro, nobody was talking about Hennessy and stretching the word out like Pop. Hennessy with the Chardonnay, mix it, I hit the in the Garce. Like, all right, bro. That's Devin Haney, Lil Zane. So it don't make sense. Lil Zane was stealing, I'm on my mobile phone, a tattoo, they want my name tattooed on them. Extenuating the words, using Pac type of flow and extending and accentuating. That's all Pac, bro. And Pac had key words that he would say. You know, enemies, Hennessy, the tattooed tears, and you know what I mean? Come on, bro. He just had his own bop and the flow. That's Devin Haney, and I feel like that's what Devin Haney's trying to emulate. But it just makes you look bad because you, your own man, you just had a kid, and you sit up here trying to be like somebody that you're not. You don't fight like Floyd. You're not related to Floyd. Like, I can even understand the kid that's playing Michael Jackson. That's his uncle, though. You know what I mean? So, and it's a movie. You know what I mean? That's that. But I'm just saying, growing up, if he was trying to do Michael Jackson, at least that's his family. So, of course, you want to maybe be like your uncle, who's the most famous entertainer of all time. But Devin Haney, it just don't make sense. And Brian Norman checked him at the door and called him on it. Like, you trying to be like Floyd. And you notice, I understand why Devin has his pops and his dad is doing the emceeing in the interviews for him, because Devin is not witty enough as a charismatic persona to compete with that. Notice he don't, you could tell all the stuff people said about he didn't grow up in Oakland, he didn't grow up in the hood per se for most of his life, in homeschool. You could tell that's true, because this what happens in those situations. You see a lot of emulation and, you know, a lot of posturing and trying to be like somebody, as opposed to, like, you don't have, if you're from the hood, you're from the same environments as Tupac or whatnot, you don't have to pretend to be somebody else. You see what I'm saying? Because you lived it. You lived the same life. That's just how it goes. But with Devin, it's like almost like he's cosplaying Floyd Mayweather. And I don't think people are going to really relate. The Haneyacks, they can say whatever they want. Oh, you're a hater. Bro, it's the truth. You are stealing and ripping classic Floyd moments and quotes and trying to use them as your own whilst dissing Floyd Mayweather. It's just a bad look. And then now Brian Norman put it on the spot, and more people are seeing it before your fight. And you notice Devin is not ready for these moments. Like Floyd, if Floyd was in a heated altercation, he's punchy and he's witty. He can have like these clever quirks and comebacks. Devin, you notice when he got called out, he was like, he just kept repeating, you violate, I'm gonna demonstrate. You violate, I'm gonna demonstrate. You violate, I'm gonna demonstrate. You violate. Like it's like he don't know what to say. He when you're trying to be like somebody else, you don't have the next line. That's my message to everybody. When you copy, you don't know what to do next because it's a fabrication. Like everything I do, people can copy, like Unpacked and stuff, but you don't know my next move. I thought of this stuff. I recorded a track for Unpacked. You know what I mean? So when you're not the architect, you don't really know the master plans. You just know what's been released and you try to emulate that. So that's why Devin Haney almost like malfunctioned when Brian Norman called him out, and he didn't really know what to do. He didn't know how to respond because one, what is being said is true, and that's always going to hit worse and hit harder is when someone is saying something that's true. But two, you don't know because you copy. Because Floyd was Floyd, so nobody said, "Oh, Floyd, you're trying to be like Muhammad Ali," because Floyd, there's nothing really that Muhammad Ali said or did that Floyd was ripping. You know what I mean? The only thing you could say is Floyd trash talk, Muhammad Ali trash talk, but Floyd was his own representation of a trash talker. He wasn't actually stealing. Like, if he even dream about beating me, he better wake up and apologize. Like, he wasn't stealing direct lines like Devin Haney is doing. A+ fighter, C+ fighter. You violating, I'm gonna demonstrate. Like, you're stealing actual quotes. That's the difference. So when you're being called out for it, Devin didn't know what to say. He just kept repeating it like AI or something, like a robot that was malfunctioning. And then he said, you on my dick. That's all he can do is talk about you on my dick. And then Brian Norman, being original, he said, you on Floyd dick. So that was a perfect rebuttal. Devin didn't really have nothing to say other than you on my dick. That's, again, a kid that came up how he came up and almost is trying to emulate or be something that he's not, like this street tough dude. It just shows in these moments that's not really you. You know what I mean? Like in a roast battle, if you're beefing at the face-off, Devin will bring up money. You broke, you a bum. I got more money than you. I got more cars. But meanwhile, Brian Norman is cooking you. You could say you got more money than him, which is true. You got more money, you got more cars, but he's cooking you from an integrity perspective. Money is money. People get money, have a lots of money, lose money, get it back. Some people lose it for good, but money is money. Integrity that stays with you. Like if you're a snake, if you have bad character, if you lack integrity, if you're not respected, that's your reputation. That sticks with you. Money, you're good while you have it. But then if you stop or things slow down, like Chingy, he was the biggest artist at one point in time, you know, the biggest artist out, or one of them. He was like top 5 biggest artists, but now that's not the case. So who cares? You know what I mean? But integrity, if you have integrity, you have it. If you're respected, you're respected. So it doesn't change with the times. It doesn't change with the seasons. But listen again. When Brian Norman called him out, Devin didn't really have nothing to say.
Straight. Violate, I'm gonna demonstrate.
Well, stop trying to let Floyd, but you trying to steal quotes and stuff.
You violate, I'm gonna demonstrate. You violate, I'm gonna demonstrate.
I want y'all to play them tapes back.
You already know what I said. You violating, I demonstrate.
You trying to steal Floyd's whole flow. Real quick, brother. You can't sit here and try to take everything that man did and just run it. Run your own play, brother. You know what I'm saying? Sit here and
you on my so
you
hard.
Floyd,
you really a fan. You really a fan. I'm not no nigga.
Get your own stuff, man. Get your own style. Get your own little, you know what I'm saying? You even got your own swag going on, brother.
Again, you notice Devin just keep repeating it. I'm me. I'm me. Get off my dick. Get off my dick. I'm me. I'm me. Violate, I'll demonstrate. Violate. He can't think of these fly lines off the top of his head. So he just repeats himself over and over and over again, especially when he got called out. He probably didn't expect to be called out. And as a result, he just kept repeating himself. I'm me. I'm me. Violate, I'm gonna demonstrate. Violate, and I'm gonna demonstrate. Da da da. Like, Brian Norman is thinking up fresh lines, cooking you about how you're stealing Floyd and jacking his whole swag and pretty much trying to be like him. And you don't really have much of a rebuttal and you froze up. So it'll be a good fight. I'm looking forward to a good fight. Hopefully it's a good fight, but Devin Haney got cooked. Devin Haney got cooked. Now on my post, you see Andre Darrell. This is a bad look for Haney. It's about time somebody called it out. Finally, somebody calls this soft ad out. Crying emoji. I don't know what that is. Ghostwriter. Got him. Norman is a safe man in the shows. Soldier Boy. Look, they're going in, bro. Got him. Crying. He's right, you know. Haney wins. Yeah, but he's not winning the battle of the best trash talk. We know that. So here's what they think about you. Here's what they think about you. Caught him. What else y'all talking about? Drake. I mean, Kobe did it with Jordan. I mean, that's stupid. Kobe took some of his moves from Style of Play, but he didn't like do everything, like stick his tongue out. You know, he wasn't trying to, I don't know. That's not a good comparison, bro. And people like Kobe had the crazy work ethic. You know what I mean? He had everything down pat. Devin fought Ryan, who looked lousy and was getting dropped. Floyd would never get dropped repeatedly in his prime by somebody like. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate. So ultimately,